Welcome to Feature Fridays. My name is Guy Bartram. I'm Director of Product Marketing for our cloud providers in VMware. And today I'm joined by Chris. Chris, welcome. I think this is your first Feature Fridays, is it?
Yeah, it is, Guy. Nice to be here.
Well, welcome. Yeah,
Thank you.
fantastic. Thanks for coming on board. Do you want to introduce yourself, tell people who you are, what you do,
Sure.
what's your job in VMware?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Chris Wong, and I'm one of the product marketing managers here at VMware, supporting the VMware Cloud Partner ecosystem and focusing really on the Tanzu portfolio of products here at VMware.
Yeah, you're the Tanzu man, the Tanzu guru in the product marketing team. So, all right, well, great, Chris. Listen, this is going to be a fairly kind of short Feature Fridays, but I wanted to work for you just to bring and highlight to cloud providers some changes that happened recently in the portfolio. And you've been really great, and you've done a blog on this already. But this is just to get it out there more in another medium. So let's just talk through what's happened in the last couple of months with the Tanzu inclusion in Flex and just the general Tanzu portfolio in total, because there's been quite a number of changes.
Yeah, there has been. All right. So for our cloud providers, the Tanzu portfolio has been coming in pieces over the last year and a half. And, at this point, we've built out a great portfolio of capabilities for our modern app partners, their customers, their tenants, their enterprise customers that they're servicing. It's been a great journey. And, I've been grateful to be a part of that as we, build out these solutions for our partners. Obviously, being that it's been a year since we started this journey, things have changed quite a bit. There's been a lot going on within the modern app landscape, within Kubernetes, and how our customers, partners consume and build out applications. We've noticed that there's quite a significant need for capabilities within our Tanzu products, and as a consequence, our portfolio is evolving to meet those requirements for our customers.
Yeah, I mean, the Tanzu Tanzu product on the VMware sort of customer side has been changing quite a lot. I think since, 3 years ago when it first was announced, this is now quite a large portfolio. And I've got to be honest with you, I think there's a fair amount of confusion out there about the portfolio, the brand names, what's included in what. So it'd be great to kind of see how that is now, what is the portfolio now for our cloud providers that they can use?
Sure. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Is it okay if I present?
Sure, go for it. Yeah.
All right. Let me go ahead. Okay, so let's take a quick look at sort of, where the portfolio has evolved over this last year, and understand why things are changing as they are to things that you've heard about, read about, in the news regarding changes that are coming to our portfolio. Mm-hmm. So, VMware Tanzu is, our modern app solution portfolio for our customers. It's our Kubernetes stack, along with a bunch of supporting application software to help build better applications, smarter applications within multi-cloud, private cloud, hybrid clouds. So our partners have received a lot of capabilities over the last year and a half. We started off with our Tanzu Basic capabilities, which is the Tanzu Kubernetes Grid runtime running in vSphere. That then got bolstered by our Tanzu Basic offering. So Tanzu Standard adds the Tanzu Mission Control capabilities, which provides unified management and visibility of all your Kubernetes clusters managed across all your clouds. So a central viewpoint into all of your Kubernetes clusters. Yeah, sorry, we were somewhere.
Yeah, so that just kind of hold you there for a second. So Tanzu Basic, then that Kubernetes Grid, that was the original kind of market offering for our cloud providers to use and spin up Kubernetes clusters as a service with things like container service extension. then
Correct.
you had the option then if you could upgrade a paid subscription to Tanzu Standard, and you'd get additional capability to run Kubernetes across multiple clouds, but also get that SaaS solution, so access to Tanzu Mission Control, which is a VMware hosted SaaS solution. That will give you visibility across everything, right?
That's right. Tanzu Mission Control is a SaaS service that's provided, and gives you again that holistic view of all of your Kubernetes clusters that you've deployed and are wanting to manage and monitor across your entire portfolio.
Okay.
Yeah. And then in this year, 2022, we added our VMware Data Solutions. This is formerly Tanzu Data Services, and it's a portfolio of data services for caching, messaging, and database. So that includes our Tanzu SQL, Greenplum, Gemfire, and RabbitMQ solutions. This is a set of capabilities that really help our customers run applications at scale, right? So really thinking about sort of the large modern application stack, being very dynamic in its build out, being able to be serviced, according to the needs of the customer set and the size and scope of where your overall customers will come from worldwide into your systems to be able to obviously scale up and down rapidly using our modern app versions of these solutions.
So Chris, the portfolio here then, so the VMware Data Solutions, which is a recent announcement, right? That's available in the product user guide as additional SKUs that cloud providers can use, but critically, there is now also a data service extension for Cloud Director that's either I think coming in the next release, but that will orchestrate Tanzu SQL, which I think is otherwise known as VMware SQL, and Tanzu RabbitMQ initially. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah. Originally, these VMware Data Solutions came out earlier this year, but these enhancements that you're talking about are going to introduce them into VMware Cloud Director coming up here very soon. Actually, now the capability will be available for RabbitMQ and then for Tanzu SQL for users who want to deploy those instances through our VMware Cloud Director interface. So you'll have that capability. And it's very easy to deploy. I will demonstrate that, in a future Friday, I'm sure, to show you how easy that is. Yeah.
Okay, so just kind of looking at this then, so when you're looking at the portfolio as it is now on the screen, you got Tanzu Basic, which is your runtime. That's delivered by Container Service Extension with Cloud Director. Tanzu Mission Control is a SaaS service. That's a whole different interface. And then you got a Data Solutions, which will be delivered via the Data Service Extension for Cloud Director if you're using it. Otherwise, you can deliver it as standalone.
That's correct. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
And then at the same time, actually, that we delivered our VMware Data Solutions, we actually delivered our Tanzu application platform. And that's really to give, a consistent developer experience for your Kubernetes build out of applications. So, prior to implementing Tanzu application platforms, really what would happen is developers would, in their own shop, build out their application and then import that into, a cloud provider platform to run, on Tanzu Basic. Well, we actually want to help cloud providers and customers, do the whole cycle from building, deploying, managing, monitoring, the whole life cycle of the application to be done on the cloud provider platform. It's just, simpler, it's easier, it's cost effective. And that's what the Tanzu application platform does. It helps customers, build out their applications and use all the tools that are that are available to them through their cloud provider, in the cloud. They don't have to go and piecemeal together a solution of tools, capabilities to build it, and then have to do all that, and then bring it and get working in a cloud provider cloud. They can now do it all in one place.
So Chris, tell me, I know you're going to kind of build out the last piece there, which is the Tanzu application catalog, right? What's the difference between the catalog and the platform? I think this is one of the kind of confusing parts as well.
Yeah, so let me just build out there the last part here. The VMware application catalog, as we call it now, is really sort of one of the key things that our customers need to help build out really production level applications, right? So what a lot of people are doing is putting together various tools into their applications, but these tools are open source. A lot of these open source components, like through Bitnami catalog, for example, are update and refresh like quarterly. And there's a lot of things. This is a very secure, security conscious time that we're in, right? There's a lot of attacks. There's a lot of malware out there. Exactly. So you as a developer want to make sure that you're using and always deploying the latest and greatest components so that you're minimizing your surface area of attack, and making sure that you're not exposed to vulnerabilities that might be in your OSS components or in the way that you're building out your application, putting it together. So the two pieces sort of go hand in hand, right? So the Tanzu application platform helps you, go through a whole life cycle of an application development cycle, but the actual components that you bring into your application as you build it out, that's where VMware application catalog comes in. So it gives you the security and comfort of knowing that the OSS components that you're using are going to be, secure. They're going to have, a history, a metadata associated with them. You can actually build them out to your specification based on your OS, based on your application. It's a very nice capability that doesn't exist anywhere else in the market today. It is really, I think a key VMware tool that is unmatched anywhere in the market.
Yeah, so the application platform is more application lifecycle orientated, whereas the application catalog is essentially you're paying for a service, right? VMware is testing, packaging, pen testing, and releasing into your registry the apps that you want for your production customers. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. They take all the guesswork out of doing that and really leave to the developer to focus on just developing the application.
Yeah. So the answer is do not develop applications on open source application products, or don't release applications onto open source platforms like that you download from Bitnami or whatever, because although they go through some rudimentary testing, they're nothing like as updated as frequently as the application catalog apps are, or tested with as much thoroughness.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, Bitnami is really designed, for test and dev environments, while VMware application catalog is going to be your robust, enterprise solution. Like if you had to bank your business on this, that's what you'd be using. You wouldn't be using Bitnami, right?
Okay, so that's quite a plethora of services then. So that's what's there, there's some minor changes that we're going to talk about, but everything in the run and build is pretty much the same, right?
That's right. Yeah, this is our platform as it exists today for our cloud providers. It's a great platform, and it provides all the capabilities that your customers are going to need to be able to build great experiences for their markets.
Okay.
All right. So as we've seen, there's been, again, a lot of movement, around, Kubernetes, around what capabilities customers are asking for. And what we've observed is that the Tanzu portfolio, as it was originally deployed, Tanzu Basic, Tanzu Standard, and Tanzu Advanced, that portfolio is very quickly shifting to meet the needs, of our customers, where they are, what they need today. Within the cloud provider community, the Tanzu Basic runtime actually is getting a facelift, so to speak. And that's what we're going to be talking about here in our next slide, which is how cloud providers will consume the Tanzu runtime component. So as of prior to November 3rd, you would have deployed basically Tanzu Basic like this, where you basically get the Flex Core components, which is a core package of compute, networking, metering, billing, and then your management capabilities for your stack. And then the modern application, the Kubernetes runtime capabilities and Tanzu Basic, that was considered an add-on component that you would tack on to this Flex Core product. So you'd order it. Yeah, you would. It's again 0 points. Yep. So it's free, but you have to order it. You have to go ahead and report it and such. And it wasn't just part of Flex Core, so it was additional steps.
Okay.
The capabilities of Tanzu Basic now are shifting, and we've decided in VMware that for our cloud provider partners, we're going to just have that as a part of our core Flex Core offering. So now, with your contracts, you'll just go ahead and be able to deploy the Tanzu Kubernetes grid componentry to run your Kubernetes clusters directly. You won't have to deploy anything extra. You'll get the capabilities with your Flex Core. You'll pay for it as part of your Flex Core. Again, it's offered for free, but it's all part of that core model. So it simplifies, how you consume and use it.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because like the new infrastructure is, VMs, VApps, and containers. So including it in compute makes a lot more sense rather than an add-on. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's again, one platform stack. You're not having to tack on anything. It's just offered all together for our cloud providers. Yeah.
Okay.
And really what we've done with taking advantage of this opportunity, again, this, is something that happened very quickly over the last month, is that our Tanzu Basic Edition at VMware went to end of availability. That was the end of October, and for our cloud providers, very early in November. And we replaced that with our new Tanzu Kubernetes Grid offering, which is now available for our cloud providers, and it offers a bunch of great things. I'm not sure if you've been to VMware Explore, either here in the US or one of the other locations around the world, but there was a lot of talk about our new Tanzu Kubernetes stack that's coming, Tanzu Kubernetes Grid version 2.0. It provides a huge amount of new capabilities, which our customers have been asking for, around clusters and cluster management, around tooling, what it provides, and we're now offering that here for our cloud providers as well. So you can see here, that a lot of this is the same. It's still got the same, compliant Kubernetes runtimes available for you, either in the TKGS form or TKGM form, as well as container service extension support, so you can deploy and run those within VMware Cloud Director. Again, as we saw in the previous slide, it's now no longer an add-on. It's just incorporated directly with Flex Core, and you'll get, when you deploy with vSphere 8, all the capabilities that come along with, vSphere as well. So performance improvements, capabilities around storage. All of that will, be available to help, you optimize and maximize your investments here as you, move to this new version of Tanzu Kubernetes Grid.
And there's, just looking at the next point there, there's no upgrade path required for Tanzu Basic, but for Tanzu TKG, which, I mean, it's safe to say that TKG now just covers TKGS, TKGM, so it's just all TKG.
That's right. It's all
Yeah.
one TKG, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when there's no migration, is there no migration capability or no migration required?
There's no migration required. Yeah, you'll be
Okay.
able to basically use and your existing clusters won't be affected. You'll be able to obviously deploy new clusters and new capabilities, but
Okay.
your existing ones won't be impacted by this
All
this
right.
change. Yeah. So the final point here is really just to show you, all the things that are being added as part of, the new Tanzu Kubernetes Grid offering. And, we're really focusing again on bringing more capabilities to our Kubernetes stack. And you can see here, that capabilities that have been asked for by our customers, we are now delivering as part of our new Tanzu Kubernetes Grid offering. You can see here on the far right column towards the bottom that we've added, capabilities here around an ingress controller, which we now use as Contour, Prometheus for, log metrics, Grafana for visualization of those metrics, and then Valero for our backup. And that's an important capability, obviously. You want to obviously be able to protect your environment, be able to recover that in the case, of a problem. You need to, say roll back an update or whatnot. Those capabilities, now are there so that you can have an end-to-end, solution that can really meet the requirements of today's modern application customers.
Yeah, so I think one of the things about Valero is that you can actually use that with S3 object storage OSC extension. So if you're using Cloudian or one of the other supported OSC extensions for object storage, and you can actually point Valero at that bucket through the capabilities of Cloud Director and OSC.
Yep,
so
that's right.
Pretty cool kind of solution. Yeah, so you're getting a lot of more kind of production ready capability in TKG now. And whereas before you'd probably have to go out and get all those different things and then package them individually with each deployment, that's all there ready and waiting now.
That's right. Yeah. So it's all offered as one package for our cloud providers and for our customers. So it makes it a lot easier, a lot more complete for them and their requirements. Exactly.
Okay, so from a cloud provider's perspective, then, if you've got Tanzu Basic today and you're using it as an add-on, you may be looking to upgrade to vSphere, like you say, take advantage of those new vSphere 8 capabilities. I think you need CSC, the new CSC 4.0 to do that.
Yeah.
Because I think that supports vSphere 8 and also supports TKG 2.0. So you're going to get these new capabilities, and there's going to be a lot of enablement coming on the CSC, the Container Service Extension 4.0, because it's a big release that's coming now.
Yeah, it's a huge release. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else there, Chris?
Yeah, so this is, it sort of wraps it up. Obviously you can read more about the changes that are coming. We've got a blog and FAQ out there for folks to read up on.
Yeah. I mean, I see this as, a cloud provider's been asking for it. It's great to see us kind of actually keeping up to speed better with what VMware is bringing out and bringing that straight into the cloud provider program. So yeah, this is great news, and I'm sure it's going to be very well received for our cloud partners, especially those using VCD and going to be using CSC 4.0 and having much more capability there. All right, Chris, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for taking the time today to just walk us through these changes that are happening in the Tanzu portfolio. Yeah, really appreciate the presentation, and thank you very much.